If you've seen my previous video, you may know that I mentioned how there's only a few activities that keep me playing Rec Room to this day. These are paintball, rec royale, and laser tag. This is because all of the other developer-made activities in the game are held back by the number of maps that they have, or lack thereof specifically. And even some of the ones that I still play are affected by this to an extent. I want to go through some of the activities that I think suffer from this the most, and explain why I think these activities would benefit greatly from getting new maps. And just like the previous video, anything I say here is just my opinion. First, let's talk about laser tag. For me personally, laser tag is the best shooting activity in terms of gameplay. Having health bars makes the gunfights more engaging, and it actually gives you more of a fighting chance for the scenario where other players start shooting you first. And it makes the different weapons in the game really affect how the gunfights go down a lot of the time, much more than in paintball for instance, where every weapon is just a one-hit kill. And the bots in laser tag serve well as a smaller secondary goal that mixes up the encounters that you have. It gives an extra element to add more entertainment value besides just, oh, I'm shooting more players. And this makes it all the more frustrating to me that after 4 years since this activity came out, we only have 2 maps. As much as I enjoy the gameplay of this activity, playing the same 2 maps will only continue to be fresh and exciting until I've experienced everything that the maps have to offer. Once you've fought other players in every building, every platform, and every hallway over 100 times, the gameplay will eventually lose its momentum, its appeal, regardless of how good it may be. This is why I find myself playing paintball more often, even if I like the gameplay of laser tag more than paintball. When there's a good variety of maps, I don't get that feeling of repetitiveness as often or as prominently, because I'm still fighting other players in a wider selection of areas. 2 maps don't really provide that much space to fight in after a while, especially compared to paintball's 6 maps. I'm not even saying that new laser tag maps would have to have wildly different themes from each other like how Hangar and Cyberjunk City currently do. Just that new maps with different layouts would not only let the gameplay of laser tag shine more, but it can even bring it up to par with paintball in terms of replay value. And next we have Rec Royale. Now with this being a battle royale situated in a large map, this activity definitely has a larger number of areas to fight in, but it's still held back by only having 1 map after 3 years. In Rec Royale, there's a multitude of different kinds of encounters you can have. You can have 1v1s, 1v2s, 1v3s. There can be scenarios where a teammate is down, or when you fight enemies with a sniper or a laser cannon, and so on. But just like with laser tag, fighting in these areas on the current map will eventually get old, because we'll eventually have experienced all the different types of encounters to be had here. But to be honest, I only think Rec Royale really only needs 1 other map. Given the size of the current map that we have, I think it's safe to say that the size of a new potential Rec Royale map will guarantee that there's a wide number of areas to fight other players in, meaning a ton of new areas to have all the different kinds of encounters that I mentioned before. I think it would also be cool if parts of this theoretical new map had themes from some of the other RROs, like maybe a section of the map would have a cyberpunk theme like Cyberpunk City does, or maybe another section would be situated in a swamp like this part of Crimson Cauldron. And this is just me, but I think also giving a nighttime version would greatly help the current map that we have. And next we have Stuntrunner. Now we get into the activities that are in desperate need of new maps. In Stuntrunner, you race other players in a series of 6 courses, and contest to see who completes them in the shortest total time. With this being a racing activity, you see everything that the courses have to offer much quicker than in paintball or even laser tag, because you're purposefully trying to get through them as fast as possible. Despite the courses having shortcuts to look out for as well, after racing for over 30 times, the courses just start to blend together and feel the same. Because when you learn where the best shortcuts are, you start going down the one route in each course that you know will get you to the finish line as fast as possible, and there isn't much point to diverge from that one route. I think 3 or 4 new courses would serve well in giving this activity new life without making it overbearing in terms of how many courses there are to do. Now some of you may be thinking, wait, there's a door in Stuntrunner that leads to community-created courses. Well, doesn't exactly work right now. But no activity is more guilty of all of this than Rec Rally. Rec Room's latest RRO has already died off and been forgotten quicker than Stuntrunner. 1 map is not enough to keep a driving activity thriving with players for more than a few weeks. Stuntrunner at least has you running down a series of different courses that last around a minute each. Rec Rally, on the other hand, has you doing laps around 1 course that you'll drive through in about 2 minutes. Doesn't matter how big the map may seem at first glance, you're going to be driving through it trying to finish the course before the other players do. Imagine if Stuntrunner had only one course, where the end of it leads back to the starting point, and you had to do 3 laps around only that one course. It would get boring even faster than it already does. But even putting that aside, the problems with Wreck Rally go beyond only just having one map. This activity is not helped at all by the lack of rewards you get based on how fast you finish the race or if you finished in first place. Even Stuntrunner had unique rewards you could earn depending on what rank you got after finishing all the courses. There's nothing like that in Wreck Rally. Oh, you finished 20 races in first place? Good job, you want some more film? In terms of new possible maps, there's so many themes they could have. There could be a snowy map, a desert map, a neon map, and so on. Anything new would significantly help Wreck Rally. I think having 4 or 5 different courses, each with a specific theme, would be reasonable enough. Of course, I'm not saying all of this should happen within a month, but they could build these courses up over time and release them on a routine. And I think it'd be cool to not only give rewards based on your performance, but to introduce new cosmetics to earn along with the new courses as they're released. That way we would get new courses along with incentive to do good in them. And that's about it. Hopefully I explained my position well enough, and let me know what you think in the comments.